gobble. Hey guys, to ShockCast episode 195 or 6. It's going to be one of the two. That means we are 5 or 6 episodes away from the big 200 show that I've yet to plan, and that we're getting closer and closer, and it's terrifying me, Ryan. What am I going to do? I'm joined by Ryan Meisler, video guy.
Hello, everyone. I think you're just gonna enact the famous words of the "fuck it, we'll do it live" guy, and we'll just do that. So
Yeah.
just be like, we don't have a special guest, just fuck it, we'll do it live.
Worst case scenario, I'll just call Tony and just be like, "Hey, you want to do it?" He's, I love talking. And then that's it.
5 minutes before the show, as he's playing Destiny.
Yeah, just interrupt him. Just shoot him. Bloop, you're coming on, and he's like, "Oh man, okay." Ryan, new releases. What came out the turkey week of this week?
Well, there were new releases that came out. That is, if you weren't already broke by last week, which was just a monstrosity of new releases, pretty much. So, but the new releases that we have, it's a little bit of a lighter week this week compared to like the last 2 weeks, but still a lot of good
Thank
stuff
God.
that's in there. So yeah, I was gonna say that 1 week, what was it, the 18th, when just everything came out, so it was like pretty crazy. So anyway, so the new releases for November 23rd, 2014 through November 30th, 2014. We have Limbo on Xbox One, which I believe a lot of people actually got free from the Xbox One first birthday. You got that for free, right?
Yeah, I got the text.
And then we got Persona Q, Shadow of the Labyrinth for 3DS and 3DS eShop. Thomas Was Alone on Wii U and PS4. I think that's also out on Xbox One.
Yes.
Not listed here, but it's the current gen versions of Thomas Was Alone. Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions for PS4 and PS3. Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed for PS4, Aqua Kitty, Milk Mine Defender DX for PlayStation Vita and PS4, Boxing, PS1 Classic for PS3. I love that it's just called Boxing. That's so good.
That's egregious. We are the name of the sport.
We have Pocket RPG for PS Vita, Speakeasy for PS4, Tales from the Borderlands for PC. It's also out on PS3 and PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One. I think the Mac and Linux Mac version's coming soon for that as well, and Android and iOS and everything else. Toaster version as well, that'll be coming. Mighty Final Fight for Wii U, Raven's Cry for PC, and Get Close for Wii U.
Nice.
And that's it. It's not a crazy week, but still a lot of good stuff in there.
I'm not gonna lie, I was not paying attention, so I think I'm gonna go with boxing.
Just a good choice.
That.
I'm going to go with my easy choices, Tales from the Borderlands, which I'll talk about probably a little bit later, but I am reviewing for the site, so I'm looking forward to playing it. I started a little bit of it last night, but we'll talk about it later. So
Yeah, I was kind of like, thank God this is a lighter week, because literally the last couple of weeks has just been body slammed by video games. I already have a backlog, Ryan, of games I need to play.
Yeah, if you had like a paycheck come in within the last week or two, like all the sales and the games and stuff, they were just like, give me that and I'll take that, and that was basically what happened within the last couple weeks. So
yeah, speaking of which, coming into good old tradition of Thanksgiving, we're talking about what we're most thankful for. We can't forget about Black Friday, which is just the sucker punch to our wallets. And as if you're looking for video games, man, do you have options and sales. And I think everyone got excited about the Steam sale that came out today. That was just like, hey, it's like our pre-Black Friday sale. And man, is it a lot of games. I'm trying to just go through this list right now and just random crap that's on sale, but Watch Dogs half price at $30. Civilization Beyond, Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth is already on sale. It came out like 2 weeks ago. You can get that for $35. Goat MMO Simulator $5. Lords of the Fallen's already $30, and Evil Within's $20. Company Heroes. I think the big one was the Origin sale. That Titanfall $5. I told you earlier. I was like, I think I might buy Titanfall. I'm gonna upgrade my PC eventually, so maybe it's just now I'm just gonna buy games and under the premise is like, well, I'm gonna have to upgrade eventually. Like Sims 4 is on sale, half price. A lot of Battlefield stuff, like some really, really good things out there. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to afford it. I mean, you just bought a phone, Ryan, so like I don't know how you're doing it.
I'm doing okay. I think the thing is like most of the year I didn't really buy new games. I was just trying to work on just backlog stuff, so I didn't really spend a lot on like new games. So I think now's the time I'm like, okay, I could splurge a little bit and get some sale stuff. So
God damn it! Yeah. Like just so much goddamn money. And then Blizzard's doing a big Black Friday sale for I guess all their Warcraft and Starcraft stuff. So let's pull that up and see. We're running it on the site. And, oh man, Diablo 3, $20. Wings of Starcraft, Wings of Liberty, and Heart of the Swarm, 50% off, which means they're $10 each. Warcraft, Mists of Pandaria is only $5, which means you'll get a free 30 days just for buying it because it is a subscription service. So that's a good way to get a free month of games if you're looking for a nice MMO to play. Because I'm hearing good things about Warlords of Draenor now that the game is out and now that it sort of kind of works. Yeah, the graphical overhaul, people are just kind of really digging it. So I don't know, Ryan. Maybe I might go back to Warcraft. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Like, do I want to lose a Christmas break just by grinding and hiring dudes to fill up my garrison and fighting other people's pets with my pets? Like, the game is massive, and I don't know. I'm gonna hold off on that one. But for Black Friday, what do you normally buy, Ryan? What do you wait in line for at 6 a.m. on Black Friday? Are you a TV person, or are you more just like this? I'm gonna get all my Christmas shopping out of the way now.
No, I've gotten all my Christmas shopping out of the way now. That was easy, actually. But no, I don't usually go out on Black Friday. I am more of a Cyber Monday fan. Is kind of more my thing. Because I don't enjoy going out in the crowds and doing all that, and I haven't really made any big purchases, in the last couple of years. So I'm more of a Cyber Monday person. But this week's been good for a lot. If you've been looking at getting a lot of digital games, because obviously Steam and Origin right now have really good sales going on. Especially,
and it looks like everything's marked down, like just the entire catalog. It's just like 10%, $5, $6. Hey, it adds up. But easy way to drop a few $100s on games. And
I actually
add it to the backlog.
Right before we started recording, I went on Origin Steam and started picking up a couple things. Like on Origin, I got the Mass Effect trilogy for like $15. So that's an awesome deal.
I feel like I keep buying that.
Yeah, well, I had it on 360, but I traded in all my 360 games pretty much. And I figured, if I'm gonna, now that I've been kind of moving out to PC games, like now I'm kind of like, okay, now I can splurge on, Steam sales and Origin sales and stuff. Origin, I also got, you can get Titanfall for $5, which I did, which is great, and pretty good steal there. And Dragon Age 2 I got, and then Steam I'm picking up a couple games like Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And Hot to Full Boyfriend and Octodad.
Hot to Boyfriend looks awesome. It is a bird love simulator, and I'm just like, I can't get enough of that.
Yeah, and what was it? Octodad was another one I'm picking up. So there's a lot of really fun little games that you can pick up for cheap, like just stuff like Octodad, where it's like I completely missed that at the beginning of the year, but now I can pick it up for like half price. So it's great. It's great for that kind of stuff, just to pick up on the little things that like, oh, I missed this, but I wanted to go back and play it. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at GameStop right now, and they've got Dark Souls 2 for $5. They've got Saints Row for $10. Shadow of Mordor is half price. Final Fantasy 14 is $10, and that's a full month. Yeah, look at Elder Scrolls Online is $20 goddamn dollars. Yeah, there's just so much crap. It's this is gonna be rough. I'm gonna use the excuse I'm gonna buy gifts for like my brothers and my friends, and just like $5 here, $5, gifted on Steam or something, and maybe we'll go that route just because, oh, good lord. And they're also doing a buy two get one free in store for used copies.
I did actually. I stopped at GameStop before I was out getting my new phone, and I stopped at GameStop because I had to buy two get one free. So I picked up. I got Dark Souls 2 and a couple other like Infamous Second Son. So I picked up a couple games for cheap there. So it was pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do Black Fridays anymore because I always worked retail, so I was always working Black Friday. Like, I served Black Friday, right?
I was gonna say, you probably had like war stories of Black Friday. So
one of my first jobs was working at like a Modell's at 17 years old, and at like 5:30 in the morning, I don't even know what that looks like, and I'm there, and my boss hands me a sack of baseballs, and he's like, "You're gonna give this out to every person that walks in." I come in and these like plush fake autographed Derek Jeter balls, and I'm just like, I think they just won the World Series that year, or they might have, or got deep into the playoffs. So I'm coming in and be like, all right, tell everyone, thanks for coming to Modell's, give them this ball, and then everyone better leave with a ball. We've got 500 of these to give out, and I'm like, fucking A. And so yeah, I remember that my day, and then people getting mad because they couldn't get a ball, and I'm like, really, this ball is like, it's dumb. Why do you want this? It's just stuff you're gonna throw out. Yeah, and people threatened to kill me. I worked at GameStop during the Black Friday when I think it was maybe one of the early Wii price breaks, and or no, it was a PS3 bundle with like Uncharted 2 or 3 and one of the God of War games, and they were selling it for like $300.
Mm.
And yeah, I had people like waiting to just break down our door and just completely furious that we didn't have it. People threatening to call the police for saying we ripped them off because we led them into the store under false pretenses. And one guy
Yeah.
accused us of kidnapping. He's like, you just want us to be here and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And yeah, so I just out of habit on Black Friday, I just stay home. I avoid the roads. Anything that's near any major shopping center, I just don't go because that's when humanity just kind of it just loses its collective conscience, and it's just like they want to hurt each other for savings. Ryan, I'm gonna save 60% off this
That's
60-inch plasma. Like, no, I'm a Cyber Monday guy. I will wait for Monday for those deals and just order it on Amazon and just get it home and get it delivered 2 days later. If it's on Steam, it's just there, so I can just start downloading. It's pretty fantastic, but I'm always a sucker for headphones. Like I got these Tiamat Razors that are insane, right? I'm with $33 on Meh, and my new favorite site is just those deal. I'm a sucker for a good deal a day site, so yeah, I ordered these crazy good headphones, and yeah, whenever I see headphones, earbuds, I'm always a sucker for those. So I always drop and I end up just having just a stockpile of headphones for no reason.
Yeah.
And the occasional TV. I like to reward myself every couple of years with like a nice TV.
Yeah, I mean, I've still got a solid little TV that I use for my 360 and PS3, yeah, but yeah, I guess I like to scope out more of the stuff that's like through Steam and Origin and just like the digital sales, just because it's so, and I think it's just like it's so easy to just go in there and just be like oh, $2.50, $5, and checking all the daily deals for all the like the good savings and stuff you can get there. It was great, like when I went on Steam and I saw that like Watch Dogs was like half price, and like Evil Within is like $20, which is great for that game. Like is like a great deal. Like
it just came out last month.
Yeah, that's already So I mean, if you've been thinking of getting it, that's definitely the price to get it at. Like I think it's a good price for that game to get it at, and a bunch of there's even like I've even considering like Lords of the Fallen is half price, and I'm thinking of getting that. Like that's that's another good one too.
Yeah, I mean I'm not crazy about it, but like it became an issue of like, do I want to pay $60 for these games? But it's like, hey, would I pay 20 and 30 for these games? But yeah, definitely. Like Evil Within, I'd buy it for 20. Like why the hell not?
Yeah.
I mean, it is telling that the game literally just came out, like, and it's already just, we need to get rid of these digital copies. It's taking up too much virtual space here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you go get some good deals, if you find anything good, let us know in the comments what kind of crazy deals you got out there, because I'm curious to see what. And it doesn't have to be gaming. Anything you're getting for any cool gadget or not or that kind of nonsense. Let us know what you think big on.
I think that is the worst part of Steam sales, though, is like when a Steam sale happens, I'm just like constantly on my phone, like checking the daily deals and seeing like just checking every like, oh fuck, it's 1 o'clock, I gotta check and see what the deals are now. You know?
I'm a sucker for those flash sales where it's just like, all right, it's been an hour. And it's weird because I feel like I end up buying everything I want to buy, but every time there's a Steam sale, it's just I just buy more.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely more inclined to do that during a sale, just because I mean I think we talked about this before with the summer sale, where it's like you feel like you're taking less of a risk when you're like spending $5 on a game, because if it's like if you get if I got Octodad for like $5 and I end up hating it, I'm like, oh well, it's $5. It's not like a huge deal. It's not like I spent $60 where it's more of an investment in it.
Right.
So I'm willing to take more risks on like smaller games or whatever, and even if I don't like them, it's not a huge like, oh well, I spent $60 on that game and I got jerked out of it. So
yeah, gobble gobble, goddamn, I just can't like I'm gonna sit there. I'm just gonna run out of money. Like I'm going away next week on vacation, so it's like I should probably save some money on my credit card, but I'm like, well, it is a credit card. It's not like it's real money. It's coming up. I can pay it later. Blah blah blah. And like that's why I'm in horrible debt.
I was gonna say, and that's why you wake up with like $500 charged on your card, and you're like, well, crap.
What did I do? I didn't need all those cartel coins in Star Wars: The Old Republic Online. Like, oh fuck me.
Or did you?
Or did I? I'm keeping an eye out for that because they're doing. That's maybe the only MMO I get on every couple of weeks is that Star Wars one, and it's so dumb, and I don't know why, but I love it. And they're revamping the skill system. They're like really like overhauling the whole game. So I'm like, I kind of can't wait to see that. And I like buying like stupid stuff for my Jedi, color lightsabers, man. Purple.
Yep.
All right, but yeah, Steam sales. If you're sales in general, go spend your money. Go help the economy. Let's do your part as an American citizen. Let's talk about some news, Ryan. Since it was kind of a slow week because everyone and their mother's on vacation, so it's just kind of meh. Not many things happening, but some things did happen. Ryan, I know you're excited about this. Metal Gear Online World Premiere coming to the Game Awards.
Oh
Jeff
my
Keighley
God.
Game Awards. It's going on the same weekend as the that Sony Experience Conference going on in Las Vegas. And that's you sending me messages, Ron? Come on.
Nope, it's not me, so don't blame me for your problems.
But yeah, Hideo Kojima just tweeted out, next Friday night I'm honored. Oh, what? Jeff Keighley tweeted out. It's just a big picture of Hideo Kojima in his tweet, which is kind of creepy. Because next Friday I am honored that Hideo Kojima will join us at the Game Awards to premiere Metal Gear Online. There was the online portion of the game where basically you build your base, and people try to infiltrate your same base with so in the single player game you go out and you recruit soldiers. You can balloon in equipment. Like if you see a Jeep that looks nice, you can attach it to something. It'll float up in the air and it'll be taken away through magic back to your base. Any wildlife, any animals, just gear, crates of nonsense. It all brings it back to your base, and you can kind of arrange Mother Base in a way where other players will try to infiltrate as Snake and basically go into your main building, steal whatever info, and make it out. So your idea is just to make it as hard as possible by putting cameras with turrets on them and sentries all over here and all over there. And if you're around, you can actually try to stop that spy yourself. So it's an interesting approach to the online, and kind of gives you a reason to make sure your Mother Base is like really cool. So I'm looking forward to see where they go. I don't know if there's going to be any competitive aspect, meaning like a 5 versus 5 or just weird objective modes, but I think that mode enough. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, seems like it's going to be a big game. And not big as in sense like it's a AAA title. Like content-wise, it looks like it's going to be same way as Dragon Age Inquisition is a big game that's just rich with content. This feels like it's going to be the same way. So even though I'm kind of like Metal Gear is kind of dumb, I love games that just like take full advantage of the hardware and just like, hey, this is going to be a 100 gig game. Sorry. And yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Metal Gear Solid was like 100 gig. It was a 100 gig download.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Are you excited about the Game Awards, Ryan?
Yes and no. I mean,
okay.
last year's.
Better question. Will you watch the Game Awards?
I will probably watch it while doing something else.
Okay.
Just kind of like what I did last year with the VGX Awards.
That's fair.
I'm hoping that it won't be the hot mess that the VGX was last year. I think this is because VGX was already like last year was kind of their attempt to kind of like reboot how the awards went and everything like that.
Yeah,
so.
And I actually like that approach because it looked more like an E3 presentation where it's like, hey, we're gonna have some devs come here and show us this new game, and then maybe we'll give out a couple of awards. And I think that format works for the VGXs.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of presentation and working on that because like last year the big thing was just kind of like Joel McHale was so such a bad choice for that award because he just clearly didn't want to be there.
And made fun of the audience.
Yeah, it was just a case of like Joel McHale being a jerk, and so hopefully this seems like a more earnest attempt to kind of reboot it a little bit. Because I thought it was
not on Spike though. This is not on Spike though. This is it's going to be streamed through Xbox One, PS4, online. I think Twitch is also doing it.
Yeah, the main outlet is going to be Twitch, but I think there are also going to be streams. But on like PS4 and Xbox One and whatever. I didn't know that this was like I thought this was its own like separate kind of thing, but I guess it is kind of replacing the Spike Awards, but it is like trying to be its own thing as well. So. Maybe they'll take a slightly different approach with it, which is cool. Yeah. So, and I just hope that it kind of as much as the VGX kind of or the VGAs in the past have been just basically like big marketing events with some awards on the side. I hope that last year's approach, even though it wasn't really the best, they did have developers there and all these people that created the games. So I hope they kind of bring more of that focus in, but do a slightly better job of it than last year.
Yeah, the tough thing with the award show is figuring out what your objective is. Like, are we being celebratory about this last year in gaming, or is this, are we looking forward by showing you all this new crap? And like obviously they're like, oh, we're gonna make more money showing you new things as opposed to like rehashing what happened last year. But I'll look at it that same way where it's like I will probably be doing something. Oh, actually, I'm going to be away when that happens, so I might maybe stream it on my phone while I'm on the beach having a Presidente in the Dominican Republic. But you know what? I think I might be actually on a media blackout once I go on vacation because I do that now when I travel, where it's just like, you know what? I'm going to stay away from Twitter, just websites in general. Turn off the phone, like don't be bothered. I might bring a couple of comic books, and that'll be my, maybe my iPad to read some comic books, and that'll be my connection to the rest of the world. But it's like turn off that Wi-Fi. Don't want to hear it. I just want to hear the ocean, Ryan.
Yep.
Cool ocean breeze. As I say, otro más, senor, and he brings me another beer because it's that kind of place, Ryan. Yep. I cannot wait. All right, so Hideo Kojima, good for you. You're going to be showing us a game. That same weekend is going to be the PlayStation Experience, and they're going to show us a bunch of PlayStation stuff. It looks like we're going to have some new Bloodborne footage. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the multiplayer, because when I saw Bloodborne, that was the first thing I asked, and he goes, we're going to have something around December. And I'm like, okay, I can put two and two together. Thank you, sir. So it's going to be, most likely it'll be something there. Drinkbox Still's going to be showing something. Just a lot of indie stuff is going to be there, which is I always appreciate. I want to see more of The Order, because I need to. I'm not completely sold on it. I'm sold on how pretty it is, but I don't know whether it's just going to be another cover-based. You know what I mean? Just another cover-based shooter that just looks good, because we've gotten plenty of those.
I mean, like I played The Order at E3, and I'm looking like it looks really like it looks stunning. Like even though I played it this like secret booth that was like in the corner of E3, and this like tiny, it was like a 24-inch TV, so it wasn't very big, but like it beat having like I only waited 15 minutes to play it there as opposed to 2 hours on the main booth at E3. So obviously I'd rather take that. But anyway. Like I played it and like I enjoyed like it looks beautiful, like even though I played it on this like tiny TV, like it still looked amazing. But the gameplay, if you played Uncharted or Gears, like it kind of felt a little similar. So that kind of worries me, where it's like it's going to be one of those games that looks really great, but doesn't really provide much new.
And it was letterboxed, right? It's got the like same thing with the Evil Within, so that's got me concerned. Because I want to know, will I be able to take that off, or is this more of a...
I don't remember the letterboxing. I don't remember the letterboxing being as bad as like. Well, Evil Within, it's just like it has a tighter aspect ratio than most normal games. This like Evil Within has more of like a film ratio, a 2.35 to 1 like aspect ratio. I don't recall what the ratio was on The Order, but I think I don't remember, but I don't remember it really being that much of an issue. So, but again, it's E3 was like 6 months ago, so I could be remembering it wrong. But
I just remember booting up like Evil Within, and I did it on my I did a joysticking with George, where it's like I was like I'm just gonna put this game up and play it and record myself playing it, and after I'm like, wow, that is a very prevalent letterbox like.
Yeah, actually they I've been playing Evil Within, and it's actually I've gotten used to it. I'm playing it with the letterboxing on, just because I figured, like mainly because like you
that was the way it's intended.
Because that was the way intended. They actually updated the PC version where you can take off the letterboxing, but it tends to make the performance not as good. So I keep the letterboxing on, and I've gotten used to it.
Now we know the reason for the letterbox. Now we know the reason for the letterboxing.
Well, yeah, I mean I'm sure there's that, and it was intended to run at that. It's been good for me. So.
But yeah, the big one's gonna be No Man's Sky. It's gonna be like taking over that show. So I'm curious, just because it looks interesting, and I want to know if this is gonna be a game that's gonna actually have a point, or is this more of just like just explore and look at things, look cool, and build stuff? And it's like, okay, because I'm fine with that too if it takes like a Minecraftian approach, where it's more like you make your own adventure, and it's just like, no, just give me something to punch or something. Give me an objective to do. But it is a awesome looking game. So the more I hear about it, the more I see about it, I'm just kind of like, yeah, more No Man's Sky. What else we got? Oh, here we go. We talked about Assassin's Creed earlier when we weren't recording, but Assassin's Creed Unity patch number 3, Ryan. The game has been out less than 2 weeks, and we're on its third patch. Is available now on PS4 and Xbox One. And do you want to guess the size of this particular patch, Ryan?
What is the size of this particular patch, George?
Give me a guess. Just give me a number.
25 megabytes. I'll highball it, So
Eyeball it. Well, you're a risk taker, man. A
yeah,
wh- I'm gonna use Giuseppe's term. A whopping 2.76 gigabytes.
that's like almost a game.
That is like we forgot something. We forgot part of Paris, and we got to throw it back in this game. I'm playing Unity right now, and it's still not running great, but this is maybe the best it's run since its release. And I was playing it earlier with the patch because I was playing it a few days ago prior to the patch, and man, I had a couple of hard locks. I had that frame. I'm not a frame rate guy. Like I rarely ever notice when stuff dips, but I notice when something goes from 30 to 15, and it's just
Yeah.
wow, consistently. It wasn't just like if it happens, if it dips every so often, you might let it go. But when I was wading through my first big crowd in that game, and like when the game is still, it is gorgeous. I'm just like, you sit there, you're like, wow, like when you're not moving and you're seeing the crowd do their thing, because it's like, yeah, they got all this, the crowd AI is interesting because when they're big crowds, they're all doing different things. So like a handful of people over here might just kind of be dancing or just yelling at each other. Another group might be like jostling or just shoving each other and doing that. Other people, one guy's like preaching, and the people are like, yeah, clap on, man. And when you're watching, it's like, wow, that is great. But God forbid you have to run through it. If you're looking at that graph, it's just like, yeah, and it happens. So God forbid you get caught in like combat in the crowd, then it's just mayhem, Ryan. The frame rate dips. You can't aim and I did a video for it, and I died a lot. And some of it had to do with just weird frame rate dips where it threw off my timing. Other times they changed the counter system in this one, where you kind of have to look for the little health icon above their head to turn gold, and that is your indicator to counter. And the other games, I remember the guys just changed color, right? They just turned red when they were about to strike, right?
It was something. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I feel like the other games give you a better notification when they're about to strike, because this one is literally like if you're not paying attention, you just get decimated, and there's no way to and I don't know, maybe it's a skill I have to buy, but you remember in the other Assassin's Creed when a guy has a gun and he's about to take aim at you and you're fighting other dudes, you can literally just go behind a guy, use him as a shield, and he'll take the bullet for you.
Yeah.
That's not in this. And everyone's got a gun. So it's just like I had dudes aiming at me, so it's just like and then you kind of have to see the timing on it where if you're not paying attention, you can see right before they fire the little bullseye is going to come up above their head.
Yeah.
So meaning if I'm fighting down here and they're perched up there, I kind of have to angle the camera enough where I have to look up and see like is it going to fire? So whenever I see gun guys, I literally just end up rolling all over the place until the shots are fired, and then I know these are still old ass guns, so they take like 20 minutes to reload. So once I do that and take care of them, then I can take care of the guys on the floor. And man, I was getting stomped on early on, and it was just like, that's never happened in usually Assassin's Creed game. You can just jump in a group of 30 guys. You're like, all right, you guys are all dead. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll talk about it later. But I'm not digging Unity, but I want to play it through just to be part of the discussion because.
Yeah. Is that a case of the performance like kind of hindering the gameplay, or
you know what? You know what? It's not a fun game. So even if the performance issues weren't there, it'd still be kind of like a mediocre game.
Yeah.
It's just the performance issues just make the mediocre parts seem even more mediocre.
More mediocre.
Yeah, it's just like because if the game ran fine and ran smooth, you can get by. But like, man, this game is gorgeous and it runs pretty well. So like the combat could be a little bit fun. But when it dips left and right or it locks in weird places, it is frustrating and it is annoying. And you know what? And this was the this patch that came out. Do you want to know how many issues it addressed, Ryan?
How many?
300 fucking issues. This is what you get. These patch notes read as if like you're launching a beta and you're like, hey guys, we're moving to beta 3.1. Let's show you what this. This is a retail game that came out 10 days ago, Ryan, and there's 300 fixes, and a lot of them are these stability issues. So I think Giuseppe put the fun one. I like that ringtone, Ryan. So it improved the general frame rate on the PS4 by lowering the priority of the online services thread. Fixed the frames per second drop while Arno climbs on one of the buildings, on the palace. Apparently, if you just climb this one particular building, the frame rate just says, "We're taking a day off, guys. It's too high. We can't handle it."
Yeah.
Another frame rate issue when you're climbing something and pressing the left stick towards something that is not climbable. Apparently, that kills the frame rate. So if you're climbing something and then you decide like, oh wait, can I go here? No, I can't. Oh, sorry, frame rate, we're out of here.
Yeah.
And it apparently just areas where the frame rate just says no, thank you. On the PC it's addressing the flesh faces when people don't have faces. It's addressing that.
The horrible flesh monsters that.
Apparently they're taking care of the issue where if you jump in a haystack, some people can't escape the haystack.
Yeah.
So
the
particularly
haystack just eats you.
Particularly the one by your headquarters, the one that you use all the time, that one would get you stuck. They're addressing issues where you fall through the environment and never come back. They're fixing animation issues when Arno performs the wrong wall jump he performs a wall eject on the wrong side of the bottom of ladders. So he's just defying gravity at this moment. I know we're remaining in a running animation for several seconds after jumping from a collision to another person. Climbing up angles very slow. Oh man. Performs corner turns instead of climbing regularly. So yeah, you want to climb something, and he does the motion where you're doing like a swap move from corner to corner. He will do that instead of climbing, but still like physically move up the ladder. But he just looks like he's trying to like beat around a corner. Yeah, I mean, a lot of my stuff has been a lot of the NPCs just getting in like weird areas, and then if they don't belong there, they just do that thing in True Blood when they rescind the invite of a vampire. They just kind of float away. So that happens a lot, because what happens is when something happens, all the NPCs like to run around like in fear. People are shooting. That makes sense. That's good AI. Like they're gunshots, you run in the other direction. That is a smart move. But sometimes they wander into a building they're not supposed to, and then they'll just kind of float away. And they fixed an issue where guards will detect. I had an issue earlier where a guard would detect me, but not attack me. So he literally just says, "What are you doing over there?" And they just stand there, yell at me, but not engage me in combat, even though I'm there. So free kill for me. So good for me. But like. Ryan, 300 issues, that is not
That's
acceptable.
no joke. Yeah.
That is absolutely not acceptable for a retail release game. Like that's embarrassing. And what did Ubisoft have to say about this, Ryan?
Well, I believe that they are correcting this by offering a couple of goodies not as a thank you, but as an apology for some of the issues that I was about to say thank you, and I was like, no, that's the wrong term for it. As an apology for the game's issues. Do you want to go into that, or should I? Or
yeah, you
I'll
can
go
go
first.
into that.
Yeah.
I'm doing too much stuff.
Okay, yeah, let me just pull it up really quick. But anyway, I know that Ubisoft issued an apology for the issues that users were having with Assassin's Creed Unity. So as an apology for that, they're offering, I think one of the games, it's the Dead Kings DLC that's coming for the game. They're offering that for free for people that purchase the game. And then anyone who so for anyone that purchased the season pass, they're going to be offering a free game from a select group of games that users will be able to pick from, and they'll get for free. So that includes The Crew, Far Cry 4, Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Rayman Legends, and Just Dance 15. Not a bad selection of games. I mean, if you're gonna,
you might as well just get the season pass and save yourself $40.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you just if you get Assassin's Creed Unity the season pass, you get like a free. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know whether that applies to like people who buy it now or to people who just bought it with the game.
Yeah, I was like, can I just buy it now and not?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and save yourself another $50 or $60. But apparently they're actually going to be discontinuing the sale of the season pass. I guess because that's maybe been causing some of the issues, or they're gonna. Yeah, I don't know how that's working, but. So if you bought the game and you're having issues, you can at least get some free game out of it, some DLC to kind of as an apology for the issues the game has obviously been having, as you've described. So
I mean, my favorite one, my favorite they had a fix for some of these issues, and the suggestion was deleting all your friends off Uplay. If you were playing on the PC, just
Yeah.
delete all your contacts. It's like,
Well, no,
what?
that wasn't like the Uplay. That was more of the that was like the in-game contacts for the actual game itself. I don't think it's like from Uplay. It's just like the in-game ones. But
Oh, so any friends you make, like, because the game itself has its own friends list. I saw
right,
that where it's like
yeah,
other assassins you
I
meet in
think
the world.
that's
So if you
that's in
get rid
there.
of, so if you get rid of those friends, your game
Yeah,
might maybe work. And
yeah,
I was just sitting there, was like, I cannot believe that this game was released in that state.
yeah.
And I mean, I don't know what they're attributing it to. I'm pretty sure that it was might be just because of brand new engine. That might be the issue.
I
But
think it's part of that, but I think the main thing is that I feel like the game just came together really late in the development cycle that like, and they were just running out of time and they're like, okay, we got to get this out by, November. So we got to push this out and, I feel like a lot of it kind of came down to, oh, we'll fix it with the day one patch, but it just didn't get the right amount of testing that it needed or, anything like that. And obviously, they've kind of, it's kind of suffered for that. So, I mean, again, that's just my own opinions. Obviously, it could be very different, but
yeah,
that just feels like because obviously this is not something just happening to Assassin's Creed. This is a lot of titles this year, more so than a lot of years past
yeah.
have had this. Between even GTA or Far Cry has been having issues, and Halo, Master
Halo's
Chief Collection.
Halo's the
So
big one. It's gonna be the next thing we're gonna talk about.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it just makes me wonder. Like, this game clearly should have been delayed.
yeah,
Like, they should have gave it 6 weeks, work it out, and you know what? Like, and now that just makes it just makes Ubisoft look bad because on top of like the very shady embargo, thing that they did, where it's like, oh yeah, well you can't reveal your review until the game's released, till the game's been out 12 hours in some parts of the world. It's like, it kind of makes it seem like they sort of knew that the game was not in the best of states, technically, as
yeah,
far as performance wise. They're like, yeah, we're gonna get slammed on this, so let's give them this really fucked up review embargo. So that's make it
yeah,
seem like they kind of knew this ahead of time, and it's like maybe we'll get it with a day one patch, as opposed to the Halo, where 343 Industry head Bonnie Ross addressed the matchmaking issues, and it was kind of a sincere apology. I think 343 has been handling these issues better than Ubisoft. They're still having issues, but you can kind of sit there and be like, it kind of seems like this kind of took them by surprise.
yeah,
Where like it seemed more of like they had no idea stuff was this fucked up until they went into the wild and a million people started playing it, and it just something broke, and it's them just frantically trying to fix it. As opposed to Ubisoft, I feel like they kind of knew this was going ahead of time. Like, maybe enough people who like the franchise will buy it because it's a single player game, and I feel like it's a single player game, so it should probably work. Why are there so many bugs in the single player game?
yeah,
And Halo, I mean, they're not afraid to delay a game. I mean, they've delayed games before, and that's what freaked me out. So I'm for both developers. I mean, how many times has The Crew been delayed? Watch Dogs was delayed 6 months. Like, they're not afraid to delay a AAA title. Like, so I don't know if this was an issue of just them being overzealous. Like, we need to get this out because we got Rogue. I'm like, Rogue can fucking wait.
yeah,
Like, you can push Rogue. In fact, you can just release Rogue like a modern. You could just release Rogue as it is, and then be like, oh man, if you like this, you're gonna love fucking Unity when it comes out in January or in February in a less crowded release season. It's like, come on. Like, they could have waited on here just because, man. And, like, they have Far Cry coming out the same day or the week prior. It's like, Ubisoft has a game out there. They, don't oversaturate the game, the market with so many of your own titles.
yeah.
Like, let people enjoy some of your games. Don't put 3 fucking games within 2 weeks. Like, 2 Assassin's Creed games, Far Cry, and then The Crew's 2 weeks from now. So it's like they just wanted to get them all out there. It's like, I don't know, like, are they having financial issues where it's just like we need to make as much money as possible? Shareholders they're breathing down our neck, Ryan. But
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as I know, Halo still kind of doesn't work. I tried getting on earlier. I was looking for a match for a while. Custom games work. But yeah, when it works, it's fine. When it doesn't work, man, doesn't it work?
Yeah.
I was thrown into a match where I was with friends who had guests, so they had signed in Xbox Live guests, and it threw us into a ranked match. which was interesting because that's not supposed to happen. And also, when people leave your party, it keeps the numbers anyway. So I was doing a big team, which is like 16 people, and some people left because some people leave, and then it wouldn't replenish those numbers. So the sides started getting uneven. So it's like 8-on-5, 4-on-3, and then it was just 5-on-2, and it's like, all right, something's wrong here, Ryan. And yeah, games be broken, Ryan.
Yeah.
Games be broken. I am not a fan.
It's sad, but I mean, it just sucks like when you get these like especially because it's happening in so many big like AAA games, that
Mhm.
like a lot of people are like excited because these games have been anticipated for pretty much the entire year, and you wait this long, and then it's like oh the game's out, but it won't work for 2 or 3 weeks or how long however long it takes to get the game up and running or at least in a playable state. So
I mean, this is what happened when SimCity came out, when the last SimCity, and people were pissed. It's like, well, you always have to be online, and the online doesn't work to play a single-player game. Like,
yeah,
it is bad. Like, I don't mind them taking risks. Like, SimCity was a risk, and they wanted to try this like asynchronous multiplayer for, it's technically a single player with some online components. I'm like, you know what, that's fine, but you got to put an offline mode, and if just you gotta run that contingency, and it's just it's bad.
yeah.
It's bad out there, Ryan, and they're still waiting because Halo is still a magnificent game. The Master Chief Collection is a magnificent game when it works, and it's just like I can't recommend a Halo to people who have an Xbox because it just may not work. So I'm telling you, like, I'd wait a couple of weeks and find out if it's working or not. Like, I'd do a quick Google search, and it's just like that's not the right way to recommend games. And yeah, man, and there are people who just like, you know what, that's my Halo game, and unfortunately it doesn't work. So it's like, what are we doing here, Ryan? Why are we here?
That's what we always ask ourselves, don't we?
Okay, and you know what, and the last bit of news, because we're gonna keep it short today, Ryan, because it's the holidays, and I want to go back to playing video games and smelling there's an aroma of food in my house that's not for tomorrow, but it's like pre-baking and pre-turkeying stuff that smells fantastic.
Yeah.
But last bit of news, because I figured you'd be excited about this, but Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U takes the crown as the fastest-selling Wii U title ever.
Woot woot!
14 million sales for the franchise. Ryan, you wrote that bit. How excited? How did that make you feel as a Smash brother?
It made me feel good for all the times that you've threatened me about talking about Smash Brothers on the show and all that. But no, it's exciting. It's good. I'm hopefully gonna play some Smash Brothers, if not tonight, over the weekend. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm getting together with friends, and we're all, usually like my group of friends and I. We always like get together around Thanksgiving, and we play like some kind of big Nintendo game. Like in the past, we did like New Super Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong Country and a bunch of others. So I'm really excited to be playing Smash Brothers and kicking my friends' asses and doing that. But yeah, it's
Being
really exciting.
that annoying guy who's just like he's a little bit too good, so you don't play as much because you ruin it for everyone. So you kind of
Yeah,
have to give everyone a shot.
of course, yeah. But no, I'm excited. And I mean, I kind of figured like it kind of surprised me that it overtook Mario Kart just because like Brawl did really well on the Wii, but like Mario Kart Wii did astronomically well on the Wii. But then again, I guess the Wii had a higher install base, so it's not
Mhm.
surprising. So Mario Kart 8 is now second highest selling, so it overtook Mario Kart, and yeah, I mean it's not surprising because I think the Wii U has a slightly more hardcore audience than
Mhm.
that's the majority of people I feel like that own the Wii U versus
Like I said,
the
it feels like this generation's Dreamcast as far as like
I
it's going to be
think
the home for the quirky, like there's going to be some really good games on there because I think the big contenders for like game of the year are like a good handful of them are Wii U games. I was like, who the fuck knew? Like
yeah.
great, like Bayonetta, the best, probably the best game out right now is Bayonetta 2, and it's on the Wii U, and that's the only place to play it. And I can
Yeah,
see why people were pissed that it was only on the Wii U. I was like, well, you know
I
what?
I feel like it is more
Nintendo was
like
the only ones who wanted it.
I feel like it is kind of back in more like the Nintendo's like GameCube days, where like the GameCube
Hmm.
had some like fantastic games, but like again, the GameCube was kind of catered more to the hardcore Nintendo audience, and that's kind of what the Wii U is doing as well. But yeah, I'm glad. I mean, I've already seen a lot of reviews like really like high praising Smash Brothers for Wii U, and it's not surprising, like but I'm really excited that's been doing so well, and that hopefully, and in I know Nintendo said that like Wii U sales have like tripled, since the game has been out or close to release. So obviously this is kind of the kick it, not the kick the jolt that Nintendo kind of needed for the system. So
Yeah, I mean, it looks. I mean, I can't believe I'm telling people to be like, "Yeah, you should probably get a Wii U." And it's like I didn't think that those words would come out of my mouth. But yeah, but I mean, yeah, if you're gonna this is a good time to get a Wii U.
Yep. Yep.
I,
Yep.
I, there we go. I'm gonna get a Wii U for Christmas, Ryan. I said it. A Wii U or 3DS. You know what? I'm gonna give myself that option. I'm gonna go with it. I want a 3DS. I kind of want to
I
play some
would.
Fire Emblem.
If I had the choice, I would go with the Wii U or sorry, I would go with the 3DS. Just because like 3DS has some really fantastic games on it, and there's still just great stuff coming out on all of it. But obviously the Wii U, if you can get both, like they're great. They're really great companion systems for each other, especially if you're gonna use Smash Brothers. Getting both the systems and both Smash Brothers games is really like the best experience I think you can do.
There you go. Our
Yep.
our our that was our Smash Bros minute.
More than a minute, probably a little bit more. But anyway.
Yeah, I suppose. But yeah, Ryan, what are you playing? What you been playing? What's on the docket for Mr. Ryan Meitzel this
Um,
weekend for this nice
so
long turkey break?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be busy with a lot of like personal projects and work stuff, but I'm gonna fit in some game time, obviously, since I've got Thursday and Friday off. So anyway, so for site stuff, I am hopefully going to get started on Far Cry 4 once I can get my PC version purchased and downloaded. And then I finished up Sonic Boom, Shattered Crystal, and for the 3DS title, and so we'll have a review of that probably later this week or early next week. And then the last bit of site stuff I'm working on is Tales from the Borderlands. I started playing the first episode of that, and we'll have a review of that probably like later this week and beginning of next week. So, and Borderlands has been great so far. I actually
I'm,
like.
I've been super concerned about that because the
Yeah.
commercial looked good, like the humor looks like it might be. I'm like, oh, the humor looks okay, but humor's still tough to do, especially in like video game form. So I was gonna ask
Yeah,
you,
I've been.
has it made you laugh?
It has made me laugh so far. I'm not very far in it. Like, again, like most Telltale episodes are only like, less than 2 hours, but I haven't. I'm like maybe a half hour, 45 minutes into the episode so far. But I've been really enjoying it so far, and especially because I think it is a really nice breath of fresh air after Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us because they were so kind of serious and dark and dramatic. And obviously, this is a lot more like lighthearted and kind of fun. And it's still incredibly violent because it's Borderlands, so there's still like, decapitations and headshots and like that kind of stuff. But it's really fun, especially because there's a lot of really recognizable voices in it. Chris Hardwick, who's the voice of At Midnight and Talking Dead and a bunch of other shows,
Hmm.
he voices one of the like sidekick characters that plays along with you. And there's also Patrick Warburton, who like, I immediately picked up, and he has a really good character that's very Patrick Warburton-y, but it's great. And so far, the two main characters that you encounter, Reese and Fiona, are the two characters that are really fun. And yeah, I think again, this really does feel like a big like kind of breath of fresh air for Telltale because like I've enjoyed all their games, especially like Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us. But obviously a lot of people kind of complain that like they're starting to get into kind of a formula where they're just kind of doing the same thing but changing up some of the mechanics here and there.
Hmm.
But so far, just from the first episode already, it seems like this one's gonna be a little different and try some new things. And even though like I'm like I've only played a little bit of like Borderlands and Borderlands 2, and obviously I did the pre-sequel earlier this year as well. And even though I've been kind of like okay on the franchise as a whole, like Tales of the Borderlands I think is a good game that kind of makes me want to go and play the other games in the franchise, and that's a good thing. So.
Hmm. When do you think the Game of Thrones game is gonna come out by Telltale?
Probably soon. They just launched Tales from the Borderlands this week, so I would anticipate Game of Thrones probably coming within the next like 2 weeks. I would say. So I think it's going to be really soon.
I'm hoping around Christmas. That'd be the perfect time frame for that.
Yeah, I think it's probably gonna take because Walking Dead season 2 premiered around like mid to late December last year, so I think it's probably gonna fill that spot. I think they need to give a couple weeks for Borderlands to release. But I think it's probably gonna be really soon. I'm looking forward to it. I have a feeling that's gonna probably fall more in the Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us kind of vein because it is kind of a more serious and kind of game. But it looks really fun, especially that it's going to have a lot of the cast members in the game as well, which is pretty cool. I was not expecting that, so yeah, I'm excited for that. Even though like Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead are over, like Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones are going to keep me telltaled out for the next couple months. So
That's good. I
yeah,
mean,
and then,
I can't wait. They're on a roll, so I'm like,
yeah.
just keep producing more cool crap like that.
Yeah, they've been good. And then the final thing is for fun, I've just been playing Evil Within. So I'm still pushing on through that. I'm in like the last third of the game now,
For
and
fun, really?
yeah, I've actually, like I said, like I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but yeah, I've been enjoying the game a lot more. I think I kind of, it kind of like I feel like it gave a really good first impression, and then like the couple hours after that, I was kind of like, I don't know if I
Tapered
really
off.
like this. It's like, but now I think after I got like through the halfway point, started to pick up again. I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to, even though there are still some janky bits I don't really like the combat in particular, I really don't think is works very well. But I've been enjoying it more. Yeah, so I'll finish that by next week and have a better impression of it. So
Yeah, I had the same vibe when I was playing Unity, okay, where I was playing it, like I'm like, oh man, like it just wasn't grabbing me, and especially a lot of, I
yeah,
mean, when you get a hard lock in the first like 15, 20 minutes of playing a game, it doesn't bode well,
yeah.
and
There's some jank in it. Yeah,
yeah, and it was really tough to get into. And right now, I think I'm in like sequence 5 or something, which is maybe I guess the midway point of the game, where I'm just like, I want to see things through, but I can't say that I'm having a lot of fun. I mean, there's some things of Assassin's Creed that I like. I mean, I like the jumping around and then stabbing dudes, and I like, and I think what's keeping me is unlocking new gear for my guy. So, like I said, I'm walking around with mustard yellow assassin's outfit, which is like first time in Assassin's Creed you can alter your color, which is kind of amazing. So I'm doing I'm doing a lot of that. I'm trying different weapons out. My guy's brought around with a big spear, and I'm like, oh man, I've never played with a spear in an Assassin's Creed game. That's really cool.
yeah,
So I think that's really holding me over. But so I'm playing some Unity. I'm doing some Grand Theft Auto 5. Man, that game is pretty and big, but I don't think I'm going to marathon that through. I think that's going to be just, a game I just jump in, do a couple missions, and just kind of really absorb Los Santos or Blaine County. Just that really neat looking game, and just it's a good palate cleanser, I guess, for like
yeah.
playing something bad. Let me play something good, and then I got my Far Cry 4 today, so I'm gonna try some of that out. And I think I'm gonna.
You're welcome, by the way.
Oh,
So.
thanks. And then I'm gonna play some stuff on the PS4. I'm gonna try out Tiny Troopers. It actually
Nice.
looks like a quirky little like base defending game. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that. Maybe some Geometry Wars and maybe do some videos for those. But yeah, I did a couple of videos, so keep an eye out for that. So the Assassin's Creed one should probably go up soon, followed by the GTA 5 video where I did a jewelry heist, Ryan, in all first person.
Yeah.
Man, did I give myself like severe motion sickness when driving, because you drive little BMX bike, oh not BMX, like motocross motorcycles, vroom vroom bikes,
Yeah.
into like tunnels and stuff, and I'm doing it in first person, and I'm just like, oh wow, and then you're being chased by the police, and then I didn't know if you can do this in the other game, but like if you hold down the A button, your guy ducks his head down to avoid getting shot in the face while you're driving your bike, and I'm like, oh that's neat. So I'm gonna try to do that online when my fleet of cars is basically just motorcycles and all just super pimped out. So I'm gonna keep my head down because everyone always aims for the face. So I like the first person's fun. The first person view is very fun. Trying to do anything when people start shooting and stuff is kind of a nightmare just because the controls are still like a third person shooter control, if that makes any sense to you. Where like you're still you're still hitting this button and then this button to aim and then this button to shoot, and it's just like, okay, that's too many button presses to do what I want to do. But I'm gonna check if there's a way to swap those controls out and make it like a first-person shooter, and make it like maybe when you're on foot, make it like a Call of Duty-esque control, which should be kind of fun. But yeah, we'll see with that. And also, we're gonna try out this War of Mine because I'm hearing some really good things, and I feel like I haven't played that many indie games lately, so I'm just like, let me do Tiny Troopers on War of Mine, and hopefully I can find it on sale. Maybe Green Man Gaming, maybe I got a coupon for it or something.
It's on sale on Steam now too. It's only a couple bucks off because it's a new release, but I've been hearing a lot of good things about that. And one of my friends in particular is like, he's really big into indie games and he's been playing it a lot. So I trust his judgment on it. So.
Yeah, it also sounds like a huge bummer. Like, it sounds like a downer. Like, you play people surviving a war-torn city, and it's just like, ugh. Like, I know winter gloom much. Like, no, thank you. But I would try to. It actually looks cool. Has a very interesting style to it, and like, I play anything where the characters have like permadeath. So it's like if they die, they die. Oh man, that's stressful. I don't need that in my life. And you know what? That's it. I'm gonna save the commercial for I don't know. I just don't feel like doing it today. It's 2 weeks in a row we're not doing a commercial, Ryan. I'm sorry.
It's
I
an
know you.
easy. It's okay. It's an easy holiday show this week, so
Yeah, an easy. I wanted to
everyone's
go for the easy holiday show. Promise next time you'll get the full DualShocker experience of me.
everyone's gonna be too busy, passed out on tryptophan, or like their wallets are gonna be spent from all the games that they've bought on Steam and GameStop, and it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot to take in at once. So
But make sure you check out the site DualShockers.com. We actually got some EA sponsored content. We're like the big dogs now, man. We're people want to pay us to put things on our site. So cosplayer Amy Lynn did a whole Dragon Age Inquisition cosplay series. So check that out. She was Iron Bull, Varric, Vivienne. Really cool, very talented. You should check out her stuff right on the site, and all her info's there. And it's really cool, like video of like how she gets everything together, and then some really cool shots of some really cool cosplay. And Dragon Age is awesome. I'm done with Dragon Age, Ryan. I did I am comfortable with what I consider a full playthrough, but I'm like I am done with you. I'm gonna go back to that game and screw everything up world-wise and do the opposite decision. But I'm gonna wait that maybe for Christmas, maybe for that long break, I'll do that. But for now, I can happily put away the maybe 70 odd hours I played that game and recover, and like I'm gonna play some Assassin's Creed. I'm gonna play some Assassin's Creed begrudgingly. I'm gonna see it through, right? I'm gonna see it through, and God damn it, that game's super boring. But I'm gonna do it.
yep.
I'm gonna do it. And to the rest of you guys, thank you so much for watching. I was joined by Mr. Ryan Meitzler.
Goodbye, everyone. If I go into my turkey coma and I don't wake up and I die, it was nice knowing you all, and I'll see you all in episode 200 in ghost form.
And I've been your host, George Jimenez, and hopefully you guys have a fantastic holiday. Eat all the turkeys, buy all the games, and do not play Assassin's Creed Unity at least for another 2 weeks. Thanks for watching. Buy a t-shirt. Check out our site. We have so many cool things there. Look at my videos where I play video games and talk over them and curse an awful lot. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a fantastic day, week, month, year. Goodbye. Love you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
I already said bye, Ryan.